Have you ever had a killer idea for an animated story, but then you thought, ugh, I need an entire studio to actually make this thing? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can create your very own animated shorts using AI. We'll take you through the whole process, from the first spark of an idea all the way to the final video.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the single biggest challenge in AI animation. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, using AI as your script writer, figuring out how to create consistent characters. This is a big one. Then bringing them to life with animation, and finally adding all that dialogue and professional polish. Let's dive in.
So, you've got this amazing story concept buzzing in your head, but the idea of animating it all by yourself, it just feels impossible, right? Well, before we get to all the cool tools, we have to talk about the one major problem that trips up pretty much everyone who tries this.
You know, the whole promise of AI is that it turns anyone into an animator? But there's a huge catch, a real snag, that can stop a creative project dead in its tracks before it even gets going.
And this is it. This is the big one, consistency. You generate this awesome-looking character for your first scene, and then for the next shot, the AI makes them look like a completely different person. It's the number one frustration, for sure. But don't worry, we've got a really clever workaround for this.
So where do we even begin? Well, every single great animation starts with a solid blueprint. And to build our blueprint, we're going to use a specialized AI assistant that's basically built to be our personal scriptwriter.
We're going to use a tool called the Animation Script Builder, which was created by Emmanuel Crown. Now, think of this thing as your personal script supervisor, your character designer, and your storyboard artist, all rolled into one handy little tool.
Just look at everything this thing spits out from one simple idea. It gives you the full script, scene by scene, detailed character designs, a shot list. It's basically an entire production plan. You've got your whole pre-production team right here in a single chat window. It's wild. Okay, our plan is ready to go. Now it's time to solve that consistency problem we were just talking about. To get those really high-quality, professional-looking images, we need to use a clever workaround. This is honestly the secret sauce to this whole process.
So here's the trick. That custom AI script builder is fantastic for planning, for getting the structure right, but it's not actually the best tool for creating the final images. So what we do is, we take the brilliant plan it gave us and we move over to a more powerful tool like GPT-4o to actually generate our visuals.
And this table really shows you exactly why we're taking this extra step. The jump in image quality is huge, but more importantly, look at the consistency. It's the difference between poor and excellent. It's literally night and day. Following this simple workflow is absolutely key. You're giving the more powerful AI all the context it needs right from the start, which helps it remember what your characters are supposed to look like from the first frame all the way to the last.
And here is a fantastic pro tip, especially for longer stories. If you notice the AI is starting to forget what your character looks like, maybe their hair changes color or something, just re-upload that first reference image along with your next prompt. It's like a little visual reminder for the AI, a simple reset that works like a charm. All right, now for the really magical part. We have our stack of consistent character images. They all look great, so let's make a move. We're going to look at two of the best tools out there for doing just that. This little chart helps you decide which tool to use and when. A really smart strategy here is to use the free refreshing credits from Clean AI for your simpler shots, static scenes without much action, and then you save the powerful features and your credits in Runway for those really important dialogue-heavy scenes that need that extra polish. We are in the home stretch. Our animation is looking really good, but it's silent. Now we need to give it a voice. Let's talk about adding the audio and putting all of these pieces together into a finished film. To actually bring your characters to life, a tool like 11 Labs is perfect. You can literally just paste in your script and it'll generate incredibly realistic narration and dialogue. You can even tweak the voices to get unique performances for each character. Okay, so let's get those characters talking. You've got a few really cool options for lip syncing. But for the absolute best, most realistic result, Runway's Act 1 feature is just incredible. It lets you use your own camera to record your facial performance, and it maps that directly onto your animated character. You become the actor. And now it's time for the final assembly. At this point, you kind of take off your animator hat and put on your director hat. You'll bring all your animated clips, all the dialogue, music, everything, into a video editor and piece your story together. You add sound effects to make the world feel real and immersive, and then you export. So there you have it. That's the recipe. We've just walked through a complete workflow that takes something that used to require a massive team and a huge budget and puts it right into your hands. The tools are here, the process is clear, so really the only question left is, what story are you going to bring to life?